Coming up on Buckeye TV, warm weather is hitting campus, but it may be hurting student productivity.
Plus, how much time are you really spending on your phone and why students are starting to take notice.
And Buckeyes take their classroom to New York City as students immerse themselves in arts and culture.
All of that and more coming up next on Buckeye TV.
Welcome to Buckeye TV, where Ohio State campus news meets student life. I'm Jill Bennett.
And I'm Danny Fenney. I have a story coming up that you'll want to stick around for. Roommate horrors. Hopefully it's not you.
Oh my. And we're taking a look at how student life is being impacted both inside and outside the classroom.
It is warming up here in Central Ohio as the semester comes to a close. Although the sun feels nice, some Buckeyes are finding their academia to be taking a hit, especially graduating seniors. Buckeye TV reporter Andrew Valletta has the latest on academic productivity around the Ohio State campus.
I am here on and around the Ohio State campus to ask graduating seniors just how the warming weather and the approaching graduation date is affecting their current academics.
Weather here in Columbus is heating up, with temperatures reaching well into the high 70s. Spring is quickly turning into summer, and graduating seniors are losing motivation for their last classes and instead taking more moments to soak in the social aspects of their college experience. Senior Sergio Garibaldi feels that the weather distracts him from his coursework.
Definitely my academic discipline's at an all-time low. The weather just kind of makes me always want to go outside and take advantage of it because we've had such crappy weather like all semester, so not much work's getting done.
Making last memories also contributes to the lacking academic motivation, Gianna Porter tells Buckeye News.
Once it's nice out, all I want to do is sit outside and hang out with friends and just try to soak up all the last moments of senior year in college.
Ella Ford, one of Gianna's roommates, feels that peer pressure to make memories does not help with course motivation either.
My roommates are a factor too. They peer pressure me into also maybe skipping or like not doing an assignment when I say that I have to like sit down and like do it.
Seniors seem to be less worried about making the grades and more worried about making memories before their time here ends. You can catch the seniors walking on May 10th at 12 p.m. at the OSU Horseshoe. For Buckeye TV News, I am Andrew Valletta.
As screen time continues to rise, some Ohio State students are looking for ways to disconnect. Ohio State Wellness Resources encourage students to set boundaries with their devices and take breaks to help improve focus and reduce stress. Group projects are a key part of the college experience at Ohio State, designed to build teamwork and collaboration skills, but for many students, the reality can be more complicated. From uneven workloads to communication challenges, group work doesn't always function as intended. Our reporter, Vivian Yang, takes a closer look at how students are navigating these shared assignments.
Group projects are supposed to teach teamwork, but for many students at Ohio State, their experiences are really different. Some students end up with doing most of the work, while others say they are struggling with communications and unclear expectations.
Group dynamics can vary from team to team, depending on communication styles and expectations. To better understand how these differences play out, we spoke with Ohio State students about their experiences working in groups.
Actually, I do like the group project. My major is communication, so I need a chance to improve my communication skills, and I enjoy the process of communicate with my members, and we can try to find the best solution, and we can finish a project together. I love the group meeting.
I think group project is both like it can be helpful and also frustrating, because when everybody join together and share their opinions, it could be a really good opportunity for us to learn from the other students. But when like in a group there's only a little people who contribute, it will be stressful.
Experiences like these are not uncommon, and they highlight how differently group work can unfold across teams. While some groups find a balance, others continue to face challenges that affect both the process and the outcome.
I remember that times it's a final project for one of my major course. I have a group of 4, but it ends up with me and another student, like we two do the most part of the project, so that will be really stressful for us. It will teach students to like better cooperate, communicate, and learn from each others.
Despite the challenges, group projects remain a key part of college learning. Students say with better communications and clear expectations can improve the experience. Reporting for Buckeye TV, I'm Vivian Yan.
You pay it every year, but do you know where your tuition money really goes? Every semester, Ohio State students pay tens of thousands of dollars in tuition, an investment that adds up quickly over 4 years. But while most students know how much they're paying, fewer know exactly where that money is going. What does tuition actually fund? Reporter Liv Rinaldi takes a closer look.
Ohio State students pay thousands of dollars in tuition every year, but do they know where that money really goes? From instruction fee to bus services and campus wellness services, it may not be what you really think.
From classes to campus life, Ohio State tuition covers a lot. But do students really know where that money goes? I asked 2 students what they think.
Like teacher salary, like campus maintenance, building bills, probably some towards some sort of endowment. Yeah, that's probably my best guess.
I would hope it's going towards things that advance university, so teacher salaries, dining plans, university services, but I have a sinking suspicion it might have more to do with some of the more popular aspects of the school, like football and other things that might seem more appealing to incoming students.
So are our students right? Well, some tuition funding goes towards campus facilities, like maintenance, utilities, and transportation through CODA, while also supporting student services, including mental health resources and the Ohio Union.
I don't really use any of them. I did a little bit my freshman year, but this semester is just a bit different. But I'm glad that it's going towards that and not some of the other fun things that would go towards it. But I don't use it, but I know other people who do, so it's kind of interesting that I'm paying for other people to use services that I'm not, but I understand why it's going on, so.
Yeah, I think I'm getting my money's worth. It's nice to know that the resources are there if I need them.
I think if I used the services, I would feel a lot more excited about it, but I know that there are things that we should have on campus and that are very important, so I don't mind that that's where it's going. It would just be a little bit better if I was using them myself, but that's a personal thing, so.
For Buckeye TV, I'm Liv Rinaldi.
For many students at Ohio State, learning a language is more than just fulfilling a requirement. It's about finding a sense of identity, culture, and connection. The Spanish and Portuguese department is creating classroom experiences that go beyond traditional learning, helping students feel supported in more ways than one. Reporter Victoria Krulig takes a closer look.
For many students at Ohio State, the Spanish and Portuguese department is more than just a language program. It's a space where they feel seen and supported. The program offers majors, minors, and general education classes. But thanks to instructors like Ricardo Sosa, many classes go beyond college credit and become meaningful learning experiences.
I started 2 years ago, coordinated the program to help students navigate different ways of using Spanish depending on the context. And also, in addition to that, I work on finding resources available to all students that sometimes heritage students or sometimes first generation students are not aware of, and bring it to class to be able to help them succeed.
Professor Ricardo Sosa's classes focus on more than just grammar and vocabulary. They create an environment where students can grow more confident in their language skills while also feeling supported in their identity.
Being in this class, it helps me get a grasp of different types of Spanishes because in class we have people that are from Puerto Rico, Colombia, and the way they talk is a lot different than the way I talk. It gives me just a lot more vocabulary that I can use in the real world. I feel like I can finally speak Spanish without having to be worried about if I'm talking too fast or if my accent's too heavy. I really like this class and Sosa makes it awesome.
Professor Sosa brings in guest speakers to give students real-world experiences, showing how language connects to culture, family, and everyday life.
I was sharing what it's been like growing up in the United States with parents that only speak Spanish, and translating my whole entire life and just kind of being there along the way to be able to support them in what they need. Because it teaches everybody else that's from different cultures what we grow up with, and even though we're not in our hometown or country we grew up in, keeping our culture alive is what is going to help us be authentic, be our best selves.
Professors like Ricardo Sosa are helping create spaces where students feel supported and represented. Students interested in getting involved can speak with their advisor to explore courses within the Spanish and Portuguese department or call 614-292-4958. This is Victoria Krulig reporting live from Buckeye TV.
Coming up, roommate nightmares, the stories turning college living into a headache.
Plus, pickleball continues to take over as the fastest growing sport in America, making its mark on campus.
And from study sessions to the gym, how music is shaping student life and mental health.
All of that coming up next on Buckeye TV.
Welcome to Buckeye Blitz, Inside the Action, where we take you behind the scenes of sports production at Ohio State University. Here at OSU, we're not just capturing the game, we're creating an experience. From prepping scripts to coordinating live shots, every moment is a team effort. But it's not all work and no play. Behind every great production is a team that knows how to have fun while learning. Join us as we dive into the world of sports production at Ohio State University, where passion meets creativity and every game is a chance to shine.
For many college students, moving in with a roommate is a big part of the experience, but for some, that experience can quickly turn into a nightmare. From constant conflict to completely different living styles, roommate issues are more common than you might think. Reporter Danny Fenney looks into some of the most shocking roommate horror stories and what students are doing about them.
For some students, living with a roommate is a great way to build friendships. But for others, it can create stress, conflict, and even impact their daily routines. From noise issues to cleanliness and personal boundaries, these challenges can quickly turn a shared space into an uncomfortable one.
Not every roommate horror story is to the degree of throwing in the towel, but oftentimes most stories revolve around roommate shenanigans turned wrong.
So it was actually just a couple months ago. I was trying to go to bed. I like to go to bed pretty early because I really like to value my sleep. And get up early and just like hit the day running. But my roommates thought it'd be really funny if they like came in my bed and like jumped on my bed. So they just like came in my room and like Mega Knighted on my bed. I was not about it. They kind of sat there for like 2 or 3 minutes. And I couldn't like fall asleep for like another 30 minutes after that. So yeah, I just got Mega Knighted. It's just like, dang, that was just really hard.
For other students, their worst nightmares came to life.
I didn't take out the trash, so he spilt the trash on my bed. And then for the rest of the semester, whenever he clipped his nails, he would clip them on my bed.
A roommate had a little too much to drink, and they came back and they didn't know where the bathroom was and decided the closet was the best place to go. With stuff inside of the closet, by the way. It got cleaned up eventually, but not as soon as I wanted it to. We forgive people and we move on.
Universities say the best way to handle these situations is to communicate early and use available resources. And if these things do not improve, students always have the option to request a change. Reporting on campus, I'm Danny Fenney.
If that story sounds a little too relatable, you're not alone. Roommate conflicts are one of the most common issues students face on campus. Heck, even I have. If you're dealing with a difficult living situation, you can contact your residence life office to request a room change. Most universities also offer mediation services to help resolve conflicts before they escalate. Remember, your living space should feel safe and comfortable.
With the summer approaching and the sun coming out, a sporting favorite over the last few years is expected to dominate this summer once again. Buckeye TV reporter Jack Macy took the time to explore the pickleball frenzy that has taken over America.
Tonight, I'm outside of the RPAC here at Ohio State campus, looking into the sport that has blown up in popularity, pickleball.
I think what I like most about pickleball is that anyone can play. You don't have to be like an advanced player or like you can be beginner, just show up, learn really fast, and it's very inclusive to all sorts of people.
I really like pickleball because it's just fun to be outside with my friends and the rules are pretty easy. It's active, there's a lot of people around. It's just fun to play with other people and meet new people.
As of early 2026, pickleball continued its trend as one of the fastest growing sports in America. There are approximately 25 million people who have participated in at least one game in the past year. Since 2020, pickleball has grown by an estimated 495% in the US, with trends showing no signs of slowing down.
I think pickleball has become so popular because it doesn't really matter what your athletic ability is. Like, it's a pretty inclusive sport and you can find it anywhere, whether you're indoors, outdoors. There's a bunch of courts and yeah. I think it really started to become popular during COVID because it was sort of a good outdoor, like socially distanced activity, and it's just a very accessible sport. Anyone can play, there's courts everywhere. The court's smaller than tennis and the rules are pretty simple, so even people that aren't maybe super athletic, I feel like anyone can play.
As pickleball grows in popularity, that also means wait times can grow for those looking to play.
It was actually a couple weeks ago, I was with my friends and we went to go play at Goodale Park. And there was like a whole line of people, so we had to wait. And I guess the way you like say you're waiting is like putting your paddles in the like fence, and then they like just go down the line, and that's how you get to put in your weight.
Whether it's here on campus, local parks, or indoor gyms, there's plenty of pickleball to be enjoyed by everyone to play. I'm Jack Macy reporting for BuckeyeTV.
Music is a big part of college life, but what are students actually listening to? And how much does it impact their daily lives? BuckeyeTV reporter Jill Bennett speaks with Ohio State students about how much they use music to study, stay motivated, and boost their mental health.
Walking to class, hitting the gym, late night study sessions, weekend parties, music is a constant soundtrack for students here at The Ohio State University, but what they're listening to and when they choose to listen might surprise you. Behind every pair of headphones is a different story, a different genre, and a different identity. What type of music do you find yourself listening to right now, and why did you pick it?
I believe reggae music for sure, because it's very uplifting.
I listen to a lot of country right now, a little bit pop. I'm from like a very small town, like rural place, and it's very country, so it makes me like miss home.
I'm going to like indie folk, a lot of house music and like 2000s like hip hop music, like Pharrell and kind of Justin Timberlake. So just gets me in a happy mood most of the time.
Studies show that music can decrease cortisol, or stress levels, and improve focus and motivation.
I feel like it definitely motivates me, especially like if I'm in the gym and I'm listening to like a good song. Like if it's leg day, usually do like alternative rock, and I feel like it totally gets me locked in.
I like to relax with some maybe classical music as well, some piano at the end. Well, it makes me fall asleep at night. Coming back from class, something to put on, getting myself into a good headspace.
Thousands of students across campus listen to music for more than just entertainment, but also as a way of regulating their emotions and expressing their identity.
My go-to sad artist is probably Lizzie McAlpin. She's so great. Always find comfort in her music.
Stony Brook University research concluded that their students spend roughly 14 hours per week listening to music, combining both intentional and background listening. How much per day do you think that you spend listening to music, both intentionally and then just in the background?
About like 3 to 4 hours a day.
4 hours a day.
An hour in the background. I would probably say about like 5 hours.
Intentionally, I'd probably say maybe like around an hour and a half, but like if you think about it, everywhere you go, whether you're like shopping, eating at the dining hall, at the gym, there's always music playing. So honestly, probably a lot more than I realize.
Whether it's helping students focus, de-stress, or stay energized, music is clearly more than just a pastime. It's part of the college experience. So next time you're having a stressful day, try pressing play. For Buckeye TV, I'm reporter Jill Bennett.
It's amazing to see how much variety and song choice our students have. I'm a big rock fan.
I love a good country American classic. Speaking of classic, Ohio State baseball took on the Nittany Lions on Friday. The red-hot Buckeyes are coming off back-to-back sweeps in the Big Ten and looking to get their 8th win in 9 games. Adrian Murillo Silva has the recap.
Welcome into Bill Davis Stadium. The Buckeyes look to win their third series in as many weekends, sweeping the Golden Gophers and Terrapins of Minnesota and Maryland in back-to-back weekends. The Buckeyes currently sit at 7-5 in conference play and have officially eclipsed their total from last season after only winning just 5 games throughout the entire 2025 season. The Nittany Lions, however, are a bit of a struggle fest. This year they're sitting at 3-9 coming into this series, sitting at 17th in the Big Ten. The Buckeyes will look to continue their push for the Big Ten playoffs come later this summer.
The pitching duel for the day was between right-hander Gavin Kuzaneski for the Buckeyes and fellow right-hander Colin Fitzgerald for the Nittany Lions. Kuzaneski started the game strong. Through 2 innings, he had only allowed 1 hit and had faced the minimum number of batters up until that point. The Buckeye offense started early with a solo shot from Noah Furcht in the first and a 3-run bomb off the bat of Miles Vandenheuvel in the second. The Buckeyes jumped ahead 5-0 early in this first game of the series. But Penn State made sure to break up the shutout early. The Penn State first baseman Kevin Carstetter laced the ball into right center. The Buckeye center fielder Miles Vandenheuvel couldn't make the play, and the Nittany Lions had a leadoff triple to start the third. Penn State catcher Avery Smith would cash in the run immediately with a sacrifice fly to center field to get the Nittany Lions on the board. Penn State would go on to outscore the Buckeyes 10-1 in the next 7 innings, scoring at least 1 run in 5 of those 7 innings and taking the series opener 10-6.
This has been Adrian Rillo-Silva with BuckeyeTV.
After dropping the series opener 10-6, the Buckeyes would hold on to win a nail-biter in Game 2, winning 3-2, and would finish the weekend with a dominant 15-10 victory, winning their 3rd straight series in a row. They'll travel to West Lafayette in search of their 4th straight series win against the Boilermakers next weekend. Up, Buckeyes take their classroom to New York City as students immerse themselves in arts and culture.
Plus, as the semester comes to a close, what summer plans look like for Ohio State students.
And how one local church is giving back by providing meals and support to the community.
That's all coming up next on Buckeye TV.
Buckeyes in the Humanities and Arts Scholars traveled to New York City this weekend as a trek to engage critically with the arts and culture while growing as culturally competent travelers. Georgia Nielsen takes a closer look.
New York City is one of the most famous cities in the world and only a 9-hour bus ride from Columbus, Ohio. Ohio State students in the Arts and Humanities Scholars programs are traveling here as a part of their cultural trek experiences. Students are able to attend Broadway shows, go to different museums, and immerse themselves in distinct communities.
So we take scholars every year to a regional city nearby, so New York, Chicago, DC, Toronto, we've been to all those cities. And it's important just to see the culture and experience arts and humanities in some of the largest and most exciting cities in the country.
My favorite part of the itinerary is seeing Ragtime at the Lincoln Center Theater, which is where we are right now.
I'm most excited to see both of the Broadway shows because I haven't seen either, Ragtime and Death Becomes Her. And they seem very different, but very, very fun, so I'm excited to see both of those.
Part of the goal of this trip is to encourage students to be good travelers, and so we give them free time to explore on their own and become comfortable navigating cities, taking the subway, and finding things to do in their free time. That's part of the goal, and students leave the trip having all that great experience.
I love to experience such a big city and such diverse kind of culture. The melting pot of the world is so cool to experience, especially as like in our scholar scene, all the forms of art and everything, going to the museums, just like street culture, all the food. The food, definitely love all the food in New York.
My free time, I'm going to a lot of extra Broadway shows and exploring the city and mostly Central Park.
And as one humanities scholars put it, without this scholars program and this trek, I never would have been able to experience all that New York City has to offer.
These trips are just some of my favorite things that we do with scholars, and I hope the students enjoy it as much as we do.
The humanities and art scholars travel to New York City every other year, meaning that most students get the opportunity to travel to the Big Apple twice in their academic journey. Whether they're excited to go to the MoMA, Met, Guggenheim, or see Ragtime on Broadway, the possibilities are endless for Buckeyes in the Big Apple.
The Ohio State University Alumni Association connects over 600,000 OSU alumni worldwide through various clubs, societies, and engagement programs. Part of Buckeye Nation is the OSU New York City Alumni Club, one of the largest Buckeye communities outside of Ohio with over 12,000 alumni. As Buckeyes in all walks of life frequently travel to New York City, don't forget to connect with the New York City Alumni Club to celebrate pride and rich Ohio State traditions through events, tours, site visits, and other activities.
The final bells of the spring semester are about to ring at Ohio State. But for thousands of Buckeyes, the conclusion of classes is just the beginning of a busy summer. Evan Joseph has more.
The transition from the chaos of finals to the quiet of summer is a perennial rhythm at Ohio State. As the bags are packed and the dorms are emptied, the student body disperses into a variety of different paths.
My plans are taking classes at Ohio State over the summer, taking Pensex and Spanish 4.
Though not every student is catching a flight out of John Glenn International, for a significant portion of the population, Columbus remains home for the summer, serving as a hub for local internships and research opportunities that keep the university pulse beating.
I'm coming back to OSU campus to do research in a cardiothoracic lab, and I'm doing some research on mites and implementing a project here at Ohio State.
Beyond the professional grind, many students are looking for a mental reset. After a rigorous academic year, the next 3 months represent a rare chance to prioritize travel, family, or personal projects before the cycle begins again next August.
Plans, only working probably 2 jobs and hopefully traveling to states.
The only division plan they have this summer is just going to Maryland.
Whether they are staying local or heading across the globe, summer break offers students time to reflect and regroup. For Buckeye TV, I am Evan Joseph.
While many focus on their daily routines, some members of the community are taking time to give back. A local church is making a difference by providing meals to those in need. Buckeye TV reporter Kofo Sholesi shares how this effort is impacting lives beyond the church walls.
Community members and volunteers come together to prepare and serve meals with a shared goal of supporting those in need and building a connection through service. This church-led initiative brings volunteers together on a weekly basis, providing meals and creating a space for community support.
This program is like a way for us to give back to our community. With everything going on, like just being that support on every Thursday that they can rely on when it comes to food is just something important. And like serving community, I feel like is very important.
Volunteers say the program has become a reliable resource with community members returning each week.
The goal of the feeding program is to help those who are in need, at least make sure people can look forward to a good meal at least once a week.
Organizers say as the need continues, so does their commitment, using consistent acts of service to make a lasting impact in the community.
That's all for today's show. Thank you for joining us here on Buckeye TV. I'm Jill Bennett.
And I'm Danny Fenning. We'll see you next time.